Hi, welcome to Glow's Kinder Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Today we are going to be roasting some pumpkin seeds. Right now I have my pumpkin roasting in the oven, and I'm going to prepare these seeds to roast in the oven shortly after the pumpkin is removed. So let's get started. I went ahead and had removed the seeds, and this is like a pulp that came out of the pumpkins that I'm roasting, and we had decided that we were going to roast these seeds. So what I'm got to do right now is remove the rest of this pulp from the seeds. And I'm going to put this in here, but I'm going to actually put that outside for our birds. They'll probably enjoy that as a little treat. And you can see how this the pulp just kind of easily pulls away. I'm going to set it in this bowl here of water, and the seeds will actually float to the top, and then if there's any pulp in there, it will go to the bottom, and then I'll strain that out in a colander at the end before we roast. So anyway, I'm going to continue with this, and as I get done, I'll show you the next step. Well, I'm all done removing this pulp from my pumpkin seeds, and you can see what that looks like. And I'm going to be putting that outside for our critters, so they'll probably really enjoy that. And now what I did is, you can see how that pulp that was still on the pumpkin seeds when I put this in this bowl of water, it sinks to the bottom. There is a little bit more here on top, but I wanted to show you when I swirl it around, most of that will go to the bottom. So it's a pretty easy way to do this. So now what I do is I have a colander in my sink, and I'm going to drain these into that colander, and I'll be back and I'll show you what my next step is after I drain these. Well, I've been straining these pumpkin seeds down into my little colander here, and I wanted to show you what I do with this. Is I take you see how still some of that pulp is in there? So I take that, and then I take my seeds over and put them in here. So just wanted to show you how I do it. Everybody probably has their own little method of doing it. This seems to work good for me. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'm going to be rinsing these over in the sink, and I'll remove any other little pieces that I can get off of it, and then I'll show you the next step. Hi, well, I went ahead and I got my pumpkin seeds all drained off, and I use a colander to do that. And there's still, some little tiny pieces of that pulp, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and put these pumpkin seeds on this towel. And I'm just going to spread them out and pat them dry. And then we'll be putting our seasonings on. And so you can see some of the little bit of pulp there still. And any of it that I see, I can remove. And other than that, we'll just roast it with the seeds. But what you do is you take your towel and you just pat dry. And then I usually let them set out for a little bit on my counter to just kind of dry out a little. Because what you don't want is when you put your pumpkin seeds in the oven, you don't want them to be steaming. You want them to be roasting. So that's why it's important to try and get as much moisture off as you possibly can. So anyway, that's exactly how I do mine, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit to show you the next step. Hi, well, I went ahead and I dried my seeds as best I could on my tea towel, and then I took another tea towel and I just dabbed them. And they're pretty dry. They're much better than they were. And the main thing is you just don't want to put real wet seeds in the oven because they'll steam instead of roasting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and put them in this bowl here. And both of these tea towels I used were clean. And I have these two particular tea towels I use strictly for food. Drying it and whatever I need to do with it. So this is takes a few minutes to do. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes and I'm going to show you the next step. Hi, so I went ahead and I put all my seeds in this bowl here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm taking my olive oil, and this is not the extra virgin, this is the second pressing. And I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of it. And going around 1, 2, it's about 2 tablespoons. So to that, I'm going to be adding some seasonings here. And I made this seasoning up and I'll tell you what I have in it. There are 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. It was actually the brown sugar that I made in another video because I ran out and I still have some of that left. And I also have a teaspoon of cinnamon in here. And then there's a half a teaspoon of each of the other ingredients that I'm going to tell you. There's chili powder, cumin, paprika, smoked lemon pepper, and then nutmeg. And all of those last ingredients was just a half a teaspoon of each. And then what I do is I just blend this all together. And I kind of just make up my own spices a lot. And then I, of course, taste it to make sure I think that it's something that would be good. And this is very good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over it. I may not need all of it. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of fun to make up your own spices and change it up so you aren't always having the same thing. And you could easily do this like a pizza and do oregano and basil. You could do it with curry. You could do it all sweet, all savory. There's just, you know, sky's the limit. It's your kitchen and you can do what you want as far as spicing and cooking goes. It looks like we can maybe just use all of this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread, I put a piece of aluminum foil down so it'll be easy cleanup. And I'm just going to place this in here and kind of spread it out. I have my oven preheating to 250 degrees. I'm going to be roasting these for 45 minutes. And I will stir them as they're roasting also so that they get moved around and are evenly distributed for roasting. And that way they get dried out real good and roasted. And then at the end of that 45 minutes, I'm going to up my temperature to 325 degrees and roast it again for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. But the main thing is you just kind of want to get these spread out. And all the pumpkin seeds that are here, it's from 2 pied pumpkins that I had roasted earlier today. Actually, I have it right over here next to me that we're going to be running through a food mill for a pumpkin pie. So that's all there is to this right now. So now it's just has to do its magic in the oven. We'll see you back in a while. Hi, well our pumpkin seeds are all done now and you can see how nicely brown they are, or toasted I guess I should say. And you can hear them as they're hitting there. You can tell they are definitely done. I hope you've enjoyed this today. I'm not sure if you know, but pumpkin seeds are very nutritious. They're high in fiber. And also the other good thing about them is that they have a lot of magnesium and zinc and other antioxidants in them. They make a great little snack. And if you can't eat the outside part for some reason, the inside of it is delicious. And that's really good on salads and stuff. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, please like and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Bye.